Hi class. So in this video, we're going to talk about the course homepage and just do a little quick orientation video letting you know of some key features on here that you should be familiar with. So this is kind of what the homepage looks like so far. It will be visible, so right now it's not visible to you yet. There's the course email up here or on the side. This sidebar you can close and open up, changing what you see. But your course email is an important one. So if you click on that, you can create a new message and then select your instructor. My name will pop up, and you can, write an email. So you have to title your email, and then you can write your email, hello Justine, I have a question, blah, blah, blah. And make sure you sign your name just so I know who it's from. And if you have any files or drafts that you want to show me, you can always add the drag and drop. So if you had something like to drag in, you could do that and drop your file in there. And then you push send and you can send me an email that way. And if you do get a notice, you should see a little like red, or I think it's like a little check mark or something like that, will pop up on your email telling you that you have something in your inbox that you should take a look at. I send out weekly emails just to sort of updates and check-ins with students to see and make sure that they're aware of any upcoming due dates or assignments or anything like that. So I will be sending you emails through this course email, so make sure that you're looking at them and keeping up with that email box as well. There's also a little messenger here. So if you click on the messenger, oops, we'll just go back here. So you can also click on Messenger and then it pops up with another little window where you could search for somebody's name or your professor's name or a classmate and write them a specific message that will pop up on their screen. So that's just another quick little way to communicate with somebody. So an email, again, maybe if you have something to share like a document, or a draft, or you want to set up an appointment, you can write an email or you could send a direct message. Either way would be fine. You can't do any attachments, email attachments with the messenger. But yeah, here our course page is laid out. So this is just basic info. There's a couple of texts, covers that we'll be studying. So these, again, you don't have to buy anything for this class, which is nice. But these are just a selection of a few of the texts that we'll be studying over the course of the semester, but not all of them. Obviously, there's a lot more that we're going to go through. The class is sort of set up on a weekly schedule with 2 classes scheduled per week. So you'll see week 1 and then the date of our first class. I haven't updated all the info in here, but there will be links for each of these items. And here's class 2, week 1, September 19th. So it's kind of twice a week that we'll be having course content. So every week you're responsible for going through the course materials for that day. And again, it's on September 19th, but if you looked at it on the 20th, it's still going to be there, right? So it's kind of up to you to maintain a schedule that works for you and to keep that routine up week to week, because I'm not going to be there hosting the class every week, and you don't have to log in, but again, you need to maintain those routines and stick to it to do well in the class. So with each class, there's a little bit of a description And then you have your reading for that class period. In this case, it's Kate Chopin's The Story of an Hour, and then there's going to be a link to that story. So if I click this link, it's going to open up into another page, and then when I click it, I can see that the short story is there. So I need to read the story itself and then go back to the course. Oops. Here. And then I can go through some of the other contents. So there's going to be lecture videos, and in this case, this one's 15 minutes long, and then this one is 10 minutes long. And then I'm going to add another video here, but you're going to click through the links and go through the course videos for that lesson. So in these lecture videos, they've been pre-recorded. There's going to be videos from me as the lecturer, but there's also videos by other professors lecturing on that content. So it's kind of a bits and pieces from different instructors that have been compiled for this class. So it's kind of nice. You get to see a variety of speakers or professors teaching about their topics. So again, each week you have 2 lessons or 2 classes to go through. So week 1, September 17th, week 2, September 19th, class 1 and 2 for week 1. And then week 2, you have September 24th class 3, and class 4. So each week, just remember that you have 2 lessons that you need to go through, and set aside time accordingly for that content. So in this case, we have, you have a reading. This one is James Joyce's short story, Araby. And again, there's going to be a link to the story. Here's a grammar lesson as well, and this link will take you to the grammar lesson. And then there's going to be some video content for each of the lessons or lectures or modules there. So it'll explain some key terms, talk about the short story, teach you a little bit of a grammar lesson, and then also talk to you, in this case, about some formatting of a document in MLA style. So you can, again, take a look at the time here. If this video is only, less than 5 minutes long, and you only have 5 minutes for the day, make sure you're going through the course materials. But it's kind of nice, especially, maybe you want to, multitask or something. You could ride on an exercise bike and listen to the course content or whatever it is that you need to do. But again, make sure that you're going through all of the course materials for each week. And then eventually there'll be quizzes as well. So I've created a quiz for each sort of part of the class, and every couple of each quiz is sort of go over the readings, or it'll test your comprehension of the readings that we've done thus far. So in this case, quiz 1 is going to be all about those 3 short stories: The Story of an Hour, Araby by James Joyce, and then The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And the quiz is 10 multiple choice questions, and it's going to be worth 5%, and you'll have 20 minutes to complete it. So after you've done all your course lessons, and before September 22nd, you can click on the quiz, and then it will open up, and you'll get a question. So what does Araby refer to in Joyce's story? And then it'll give you a choice of 5 or 6 options to choose from, and then you'll pick the correct answer and go on to the next page, and there's going to be 10 questions in total. So each question is worth half a mark, and quiz 1 is worth 5 marks in total. So you just want to make sure that you're doing these quizzes as well once you've completed the readings and the lessons for that that part of the class. And then we have also there'll be larger assignments. So as we keep going here, there's also going to be what's called Turnitin, your writing assignment number 1. So this symbol here just is what we call Turnitin, and it's the app we use for uploading assignments. And so when you click on this, I've made the assignment visible here, but you can also click on the page here and see the full assignment. And in this case, it's asking you to write a 5-part essay, which I'll talk about more in a lecture video, to pick one of the short stories, and then to answer one of these essay topics. So there's 4 options. You're going to pick one of those, and then you're going to write a paper, and then eventually you're going to submit it through this app here. So you'll find your name, and then there'll be a little, let's see if it shows up here. I don't think it will show up. So I see everybody's names, but you'll just see your own name. So it will show you a little, there'll be a little cloud with a little arrow on it. And when you click on the cloud, it should open up. I can just practice. Let me see if I can turn into a student for a minute and open that up. Oh, it still won't show it to me. Okay, but there should be a little cloud and a little arrow, but in this case, it's not showing it to me. But you'll click on the cloud and it'll walk you through instructions on how to upload your paper. And then you'll get what's called a similarity report or originality report. And it might take a while for the computer to generate that, but eventually it'll give you a similarity rating. And it might be 20%, it might be 10%, it might be 2%. But that just shows the similarity between your essay that you've submitted and online essays that already exist. If you get 20% as a similarity rating, it's not a bad thing. I know students kind of freak out. They think either 20% is their mark or they think that they've plagiarized. But in a lot of cases, what's similar is the quotations that you've used are similar to quotations that exist in other papers. Because you're all going to be using evidence. You know, every student needs to put evidence, quotations into their writing. So the similarity is going to be there. And if there's no similarity, that might be a more of a red flag for me, because it means you haven't included any evidence in your paper as direct quotations. And I like direct quotations. I want you to use them. So you can, if you see a similarity rating on your thing, you can also click on your paper within Turnitin, and it will open up your paper and show you the highlighted parts of it that are similar. So it's usually just quotations that are highlighted, but sometimes Turnitin is kind of not perfect, and it will highlight things like the title or weird things like one word that's similar or something like that. So it's not an exact science either, and you know, I think you don't have to necessarily worry too much about the similarity rating. I think students tend to estimate how important it is. It's not that important. But it is just a measure of what in your paper is similar to others. Okay, so that's basically what your assignments will be looking like. And so it's just expected for you to, you know, again, continue with the course content, and you can close, you know, once you finish all of week 4, you can use these little arrows to close and open up the new content. And all of this might not be open at the start of the term. I'm gonna go week by week through it. So week 1 classes will be open, but not week 2 yet, something like that. So eventually you'll have all, by the end of the term, all of your classes will be visible. And you'll be able to go back and look at, you know, any lecture materials that you maybe need to review or want to look at again. But that's basically it so far. I'm still finalizing parts of the class. Obviously, I need to add some links and stuff like that. But that's kind of the basic overview of what this course page looks like. But it's kind of your home base for the class. It's where, again, you can send me an email. It's where all of your lecture content is. It's where all your readings are located. So it is expected that you log in at least twice a week to go through the course content and go through the readings as well as the lecture materials. Okay, so if you have any questions about course homepage, do let me know. But I'll sign off for now and hope you have a lovely rest of your day.